Rumour has it that Sir Walter Raleigh's wife went around with his embalmed head in a bag for 29 years. Sir Walter Raleigh was the dashing buccaneer statesman of Elizabeth I's court. If you were in the late Tudor era and you wanted as a man to emulate someone cool and someone who had influence, you wanted to emulate Sir Walter Raleigh. This guy had travelled the world, he had killer dress sense, he smoked. Actually, he was the first person in Europe ever to smoke. But when his sugar mama Elizabeth I passed away, so did all the favour that he had at the royal court, and when King James VI took the throne, he was somehow implicated in a plot against the king, really tenuously, like he spoke to someone, but that was enough. So he was imprisoned for a while, and he was quite busy whilst he was in prison. He wrote various things, including, a history of the world. And when he was let out and pardoned by the king, he was allowed to get on his ship and go searching for the cities of gold of El Dorado again. I mean, this guy was lucky. He was lucky. But men like this guy here, who had been privateers under Elizabeth I, were pretty much addicted to taking things away from their mortal enemy at the time, the Spanish. And this guy had gotten into so much trouble stealing things from the Spanish that one of the conditions of his pardon were that he no longer stole things from the Spanish. And what did he do when he went off to find El Dorado again? He stole things from the Spanish, didn't he? So when he got home, the Spanish ambassador wasn't very happy, and he went to King James and he said, look, this guy, he's a nuisance, you've got to do something about this. And King James said, yeah, you're right. And so he had him executed. And that was the end of the fascinating life of Sir Walter Raleigh. Or was it? Because Raleigh had a wife, the fabulously named Elizabeth Throckmorton. However, when most widows would have taken their husband's remains into their custody and organised a decent Christian burial for them, such societal normal niceties were not going to wash for Elizabeth here. She did the only thing she could think to do under the circumstances. She had her husband's head embalmed and kept it in a bag for 29 years. She took it everywhere with her. Until she died, almost 30 years later. And we've still got the bag. This is the bag. So Walter Raleigh's embalmed head was kept in this bag.